Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about something many Malaysians think they already understand, but often do not look at properly. That question is this: how much can you realistically save if you work in Singapore? Many Malaysians believe that once you work in Singapore, saving money becomes easy and automatic. The common idea is that Singapore's salary is high, expenses are manageable, and everyone eventually comes back with a lot of money. But the reality is more complicated than that. Some people save a lot, some barely save anything, and some even struggle month to month despite earning Singapore dollars. So today, let us break this down properly using real numbers. There will be no hype, no motivational talk, and no exaggeration. This is just realistic math, based on how people actually live. Let us start with a very common profile. This is not a fresh graduate, and not a top executive. This is a mid-level Malaysian professional working in Singapore, earning a gross salary of 5,000 Singapore dollars per month. This income level is very common for engineers, accountants, analysts, supervisors, and experienced executives. From 5,000 Singapore dollars, the first thing to consider is CPF. If you are not a Singapore permanent resident and you are working on an employment pass or S-Pass, you do not contribute to CPF. That means your take-home pay before tax is the full 5,000 Singapore dollars. However, you still need to pay Singapore income tax. Singapore income tax is relatively low. For this income level, the effective tax works out to roughly 300 to 400 Singapore dollars per month when averaged over the year. To keep things simple, let us assume 350 Singapore dollars per month. That leaves you with around 4,650 Singapore dollars of take-home cash. Now let us talk about the biggest expense, which is rent. If you are renting a room, not a whole unit, in a non-central area, a realistic rent today is between 800 to 1,200 Singapore dollars. Let us use 1,000 Singapore dollars for this example. This would be for a common room, shared toilet, and no luxury facilities. After rent, your balance is now 3,650 Singapore dollars. Next is food. If you mainly eat hawker food, food court meals, and occasionally simple restaurants, a realistic food cost is around 500 to 700 Singapore dollars per month. Let us assume 600 Singapore dollars. This already includes coffee, tea, and some weekend meals. After food, you are left with 3,050 Singapore dollars. Next is transport. If you take MRT and bus daily and you do not use taxis often, transport typically costs between 150 to 200 Singapore dollars per month. Let us use 180 Singapore dollars. After transport, your balance is now 2,870 Singapore dollars. Now let us include phone bills, internet, and basic subscriptions. A SIM-only phone plan is around 20 to 30 Singapore dollars. Add some basic subscriptions, maybe another $20. Let us round this up to 50 Singapore dollars per month. Your balance is now 2,820 Singapore dollars. Next is personal spending. This includes clothes, toiletries, occasional gadgets, minor medical visits, gifts, and social activities. Even if you are disciplined, this easily reaches 300 to 500 Singapore dollars per month. Let us assume 400 Singapore dollars. After personal spending, you are left with 2,420 Singapore dollars. Now let us talk about weekends and lifestyle. Many Malaysians underestimate this part. Weekend outings, movies, cafes, dating, short trips, or simply spending time outside can easily cost 200 to 400 Singapore dollars per month. Let us assume 300 Singapore dollars. After this, your remaining savings is approximately 2,120 Singapore dollars per month. So from a 5,000 Singapore dollar salary, after realistic expenses, you can save around 2,100 Singapore dollars per month if you are disciplined but still living a normal life. Now let us convert this into Malaysian ringgit. Using a conservative exchange rate of 3 ringgit 30 sen per Singapore dollar, 2,100 Singapore dollars becomes approximately 6,900 ringgit per month. That means you are saving close to 7,000 ringgit every month. Over 1 year, that is around 83,000 ringgit. Over 5 years, that is more than 400,000 ringgit. And this is without bonuses, without promotions, and without extreme frugality. Now let us talk about CPF, because this changes the picture if you are a Singapore permanent resident. If you become a PR, you will contribute CPF, and your employer will also contribute. Your take-home cash will reduce, but your long-term savings increase. For a 5,000 Singapore dollar salary, employee CPF contribution is around 20% when fully phased in, which is about 1,000 Singapore dollars. The employer contributes another 17%, which is about 850 Singapore dollars. Your take-home cash will drop to around 3,600 Singapore dollars before tax. After tax and expenses, your monthly cash savings may drop to around 1,000 to 1,200 Singapore dollars. However, your CPF savings will be close to 1,800 Singapore dollars per month. So your total monthly savings, including CPF, is still around 2,800 to 3,000 Singapore dollars. The difference is that CPF money is locked in until retirement or until withdrawal conditions are met. Now let us talk about why many Malaysians do not save this amount despite earning similar salaries. The biggest reason is lifestyle inflation. Renting a master bedroom, staying near the city, eating at restaurants every day, taking Grab everywhere, and traveling frequently can easily push monthly expenses up by 1,000 to 1,500 Singapore dollars. Once that happens, savings can drop from 2,000 Singapore dollars to maybe 800 or even zero. Another reason is poor cross-border planning. Some people keep upgrading cars in Malaysia, taking high loans, supporting family without clear limits, or maintaining multiple commitments without tracking cash flow. Singapore income alone cannot fix bad financial habits. So what is the realistic takeaway from this video? Working in Singapore can absolutely help you save serious money, but only if you control rent, food, and lifestyle. At a 5,000 Singapore dollar salary, saving 2,000 Singapore dollars per month is realistic. It is not exaggerated, but it is also not automatic. If you earn more, for example 6,000 to 8,000 Singapore dollars, the savings scale very fast because many expenses stay the same. That is why mid-career professionals benefit the most from working in Singapore. If you want, in the next video I can break down how long it realistically takes to reach 1 million ringgit working in Singapore at different salary levels, or how to optimize rent and lifestyle to push savings higher without suffering. If this breakdown helped you see the real numbers clearly, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who is thinking of working in Singapore but wants the truth, not hype.